Hi. When you're starting to learn a new language, things can be quite unfamiliar, and you can find yourself feeling more than a little lost. So today I thought I'd try to help you out by talking a little bit about where you are. So that's here and there. But before we start talking about here and there, I think we have to talk a little bit about this and that. Now, if you're not absolutely new to Gaelic, you may already know that where we have this and that in English, in Gaelic we have 3 different words. We have seo for this, and then 2 words for that. Sin is that which is moderately close to you, and shut is that which is very far away. Now, a lot of learners get quite tense, quite anxious about this. How do I know if something's far enough away to be shut, or if it's close enough to be shin? And yeah, that can be a bit tricky. So let's stop for a second and look at English, because in English we have this and we have that. But if we look further back, say to William Shakespeare, what we'll find is the word yonder. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. So this balcony is far away from Romeo. It's far enough away that he can talk without being heard by it. So who does hear him? Well, interestingly, if you think about it slightly differently, seo, this pen, piaun seo, this pen's the one I have. Piaun shin could be the one that you have, the person I'm speaking to. Okay, so while Gaelic does use seo, shin and shut for just levels of distance, it also uses them for me and you. So seo is something, this is something I have. Shin is that, the one that's in your hand, or the one that's close to you, or possibly one that's as close to me as you are. And shut is further away from than you. It's the one somebody else has. It's the one we can't reach. So yeah, those 2 things can be kind of fluid in Gaelic. It can switch between being just middle distance or being close to you. So there's no hard and fast rule. Have a listen to how people use it. Now, I'm going to ask a question that is going to feel a little bit unnatural. Where is this? Because, you know, in normal usage, if I was to ask, where is this? You might imagine I would be holding up a picture of maybe a cathedral. Where is this? Oh, that's Paris, or oh, that's Chartres, something like that. We don't ask, where is this, in other senses, because actually this, as I say, this pen is the one I have. This pen is here. Okay? So this pen is here. And that pen would be there. Okay? an ampiawn shoot, yonder pen is over yonder. So what here really means in English, here means this place, and there means that place, and then yonder in the Shakespearean English meant yonder place. But there we have it. Here is this place, there is that place. And in Gaelic, here is anseo, there is anshin, and over yonder is anshut. So anseo here, anshin there, and anshut way over there, way over yonder. So this pen is here. Ha ampiawn seo, anseo. That pen is there. Ha ampiawn shin, anshin. And ha ampiawn shut, anshut. Yonder pen is way over yonder. So like I was saying, shin, that is probably the one near you, near the person I'm speaking to. So anshin there probably means where the person I'm speaking to is. Not always. It can be used differently. It can be somewhere that's in the middle distance. The two are similar but different meanings, and both work. Because that's where modern technology starts to get interesting in its effects on language. Because what happens when you're speaking to somebody on the phone? This is something that Gaelic is still working out, and different speakers will do it different ways. Because I'm sure I've heard people on the phone talking to someone who is very far away, half the world away maybe, and asking them how things are in Shin, there where you are. But I'm sure I've also heard people say, how are things in Shut, so far away from me, and I can't be sure which is more common. Do people tend to stick with this rule of shin and unshin being where you are, even when the person is far away? Seems to me that it's more common, but I've not had enough of these sorts of conversations. It's something I'm actively listening for at the moment. Whenever I go into a conversation with somebody on Skype or Zoom, as is very common at the moment. Because that's the thing, up till now, most of my Gaelic conversations have been face-to-face. And Shin, well, the middle distance was where I was. So I'm listening out for it. And I'm hoping to see for myself what people tend to say now. Because no matter how much I've learned of the language, I always stay open to learning more, learning new things, looking out for things that I haven't seen before. But let's go back to anseo, anshin, and shit for a moment. Because that an at the start, what I thought when I started was that I was looking at the article, that I was looking at the. So, the this, the that. Turns out I wasn't. People tried to explain it to me and I didn't quite get it at first. That an actually comes from the same place as aun an. It is an old version of in. So that's the Gaelic for in English. Basically, it used to be something like in. But when they started using the article in, they duplicated it. So instead of just saying in, they said aunan for in. Now, this old form of in exists in a few other fixed phrases. For example, ha mi an dochas. and ha me and dul. Ha me and dochus means I hope, but it's literally I am in hope. And ha me and dul means I expect, but it's literally again I am in expectation. And you may think that this is academic. Does it matter that it's in? Well, yes, because there's one other thing that learners often find confusing in Gaelic, and it comes from this concept of being in, for being in a place. Here is in this place. There is in that, and shin, in that place. Now, if you watched my video on the article, I explained how in English the word the was reduced from this and that. This points and that points, but the doesn't point. It says you know which one, but it's not pointing at which one. Now, here in Gaelic, and seo is pointing to this place, and shin is pointing to that place, and then shut is pointing to that place way over there. In English, we don't have a way of saying the place that we were talking about. In English, we can say, instead of this and that to stop pointing, this pen, that pen, the pen, or this, that, and it. We don't have a place in English that's equivalent to the place or the it of place. But in Gaelic, because we are in places, to be in whatever place we are talking about, you would be saying, I am in it. Now, in it in Gaelic is quite simply aun. So if you want to say, I was there, well, you don't need to point and say there because somebody's already talking about it. For example, I went to the pub last night. I know I was there. Now, I don't need to point to the pub. I don't need to say again that place because you've already said the place, the pub. I was in it, it being the place that you were talking about. And similarly, oh, I was here last week. I know. I was too. I was here too. I was in it, in the place we are talking about. So if your book says that aun can be here or there, depending on the context, it can be scary, it can be confusing, it can be like, well, how do I know? Quite simply, it's not here or there, it's just the place we are talking about. We already know, so we don't need to say it again. Now, to illustrate this point, I'm going to say something that some people might not like, because I am going to say something about Gaelic medium education. So imagine it's just after 9 o'clock on a weekday, and I'm a child in a Gaelic medium primary school. The teacher takes out the register, reads down the list of names, calls out my name, Anil. I would be expected to answer with ha, me, and seo. This is the standard answer, the standard response you'll hear to a Gaelic medium roll call, register in a school. Now, what does that mean? Hammy and Shaw. Hammy and Shaw is the answer to the question, where are you? Where are you is a question that you ask if you don't know where somebody is, if you are looking to find out the location they're in. In the classroom then, Hammy and Shaw means I am in this place, in this seat. I'm at this desk. Because and Shaw is information the teacher doesn't know. And I have to point in a verbal sense. I'm pointing at my location. However, what the teacher is asking when the teacher calls out a name isn't where are you, it's are you there or are you here? And it doesn't matter which one, because here can mean the classroom and there can mean over there in your seat. In English, the two things are equivalent. Are you there? Are you here? They have the same meaning in this context because the specific location is not important. The teacher is asking, are you present? Are you in the place you should be? So we don't need to point. Responding to a teacher should be ha, me, aun. I am in the place we are discussing. I am in it. Because the exact location is not the information I'm conveying. The information I'm conveying is simply, yes, I'm where I should be. And that's the difference. We use aun because we are not telling you where we are. That's something, the location is something we share as knowledge already. It's the place, not this place, not that place, just the place. So as always, I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to clarify things for you. But until the next time, cheery and drasta.